let's play the Albert Breer cut, because what did he say about who would play first, Watson or Sanders?
Who would I play, or who should they play? Who would they play?
Who do you think they would play?
I think they would. Tough question. Deshaun, I think. Because here's the thing, like I think a piece of this, and we've talked about this over the course of the last couple months, right? Like the players know who the best players are. The players know who's going to give them the best shot to win. And with Deshaun's experience and everything else, if he is truly healthy, right, like, and he is ready to go, I have a hard time seeing a scenario where he wouldn't get out there to practice and it wouldn't become like relatively obvious to the players there that, oh, well, this guy gives us a better shot to win, you know? And I don't think it's the wrong thing for the organization either, based on the amount of time that you've and money and effort you've put into making Deshaun Watson your quarterback. And like, look, if you're on the hook for the money next year anyway, it might be good to at least get a look at where he's at.
Sounds like the Baskin and Phelps theory.
Yes, it does.
I think he has shown, Andy, that he can be in the NFL for a while. But I don't think he has shown anything more than that. You know, does he look competent as a quarterback? Yeah. I mean, we take a look around the quarterbacks around the league, backup quarterbacks in particular. Yeah, he looks like he can play in the league. He needs a big game. I mean, he just needs a big game. Remember, his first opportunity to play came against Baltimore, remember? And It was late in the game, but boom, right down the field. He was 3 of 3 through a touchdown pass. I think he needs a big game. If he doesn't get one, all the screaming about Shedeur and Deshaun will continue, and it will be valid. It will be. If he doesn't, and again, I don't think 5 starts is enough to evaluate a guy's entire career path in the National Football League. I don't. Other people might, but I don't. I don't think that's enough. But if he doesn't have a good game this week, I think the screaming to change quarterbacks will be valid, whether it be Deshaun or whether it be Shedeur. And I say that only for this reason. Nothing's permanent. Somebody else goes in, doesn't mean you can't go back to Dillon. You're not going to bury him.
I agree with that.
And but boy, Andy, he needs a big game. He's had one passing game of more than, one in the 200s. That's it. And as the season's gone on, he's thrown, even though he's thrown a couple of touchdown passes, I think that's growth. We need that bust out game from him. Don't you think?
Yeah, 100%. And I also, Jeff, I agree with you. Like, again, we truly don't know what the coaching staff. I mean, the coaching staff. We do know. They don't feel like it's his time to go on the field right now. Right? That's kind of leave it at Shedeur. Yeah. Right. So, but you're right. I've heard a million people say it. It's like, what do they have to lose if they put him out there right now? And I agree with you. So what if you have to take Gabriel off and put him back on? I know they're trying to build his confidence, but even if it's one series, even if it's 2 series, you brought in 2 rookie quarterbacks. And if you wanted to have a competition, you're 2-7, let it play out on the field.
I was just going to say, and what's your record?
That's the whole thing.
You're 2-7 here, folks. I mean, if Dillon goes out and struggles, why not make a move? And it doesn't have to be full time.
No,
So
the other question, and I know
he needs a big game,
guys. Here's the other question: it's not really a question because Zappe's not active on game day.
No, Bailey Zappe's had more success in the NFL than Dillon and Shedeur combined. Obviously, Shedeur hasn't had a chance.
Right.
But if you're looking at young quarterbacks, we know what the pecking order is here. And right now, the pecking order is Dillon and Shedeur, and then Bailey Zappe. Bailey Zappe might be as good or better than the other 2, Andy. I don't know.
Jeff, I wonder.
He's had some success. He hasn't won a ton of games, but he's had some success. He's thrown it well.
Jeff, what do you think Kevin's depth chart would be in his mind?
Kenny Pickett?
Yeah.
Joe Flacco?
Yeah.
Dillon Gabriel.
Bailey Zappi after that?
Bailey wasn't here.
Okay.
And Bailey wouldn't be here if they hadn't traded the other two.
Wow. We heard from Dillon Gabriel just now, and he kind of gave us the lay of the land. Nothing earth-shattering. You brought up the best point, I believe.
Of what he said?
Yeah.
I don't think he made a great point of what he said.
That's why it was so...
I think he sounds like a longtime veteran pro quarterback, Andy.
He does.
That's what he sounds like. He needs a good game. He has not given anything to quiet the folks who are screaming for a change of quarterback. He needs to do that. He needs to make everybody go, that was pretty good. They might have lost, but that was still pretty good. It's not on him. He needs that. The idea of a package of plays for him and put him out there, I wouldn't think that's a bad idea.
I would think
it doesn't go well this week.
I would think they should have had a package of plays from the beginning of the season, even if it's 5 plays.
Except for one thing, though.
Why not? Maybe you go in and throw him in a wildcat or let him spark up the offense a little bit.
But it's this. It's usually when you have a package of plays for a different quarterback, it's a quarterback with an extremely different skill set. Like, for instance, Taysom Hill.
Do you think their skill set's exactly the same?
No, but I think they're both quarterbacks who are basically the same type of quarterbacks. One's left-handed and shorter, and one's right-handed and taller.
Yeah.
Neither one, I think Dillon probably runs better than Shedeur. His athleticism's a little better.
I don't know. Maybe you mix them up with a right-handed offense and a left-handed offense. Even if it's just one package. I mean, we throw offensive linemen in there to play fullback. Why? I would think that every team should have some sort of package for their backup. Even Ohio State, Lincoln Keyholtz they have a 4th and 1 play for him on the goal line. Now that's good.
Yeah, but Andy, that's just not the way it's usually done in the NFL.
I don't see why it would hurt.
I don't see the package of plays for Mason Rudolph in Pittsburgh right now. Dillon needs to have a pretty good game. It's time for him to show a little bit more improvement than he has shown. He has thrown 2 touchdown passes in each of the last 2 games.
All right, one more.
That's a thing, Andy. Yeah. It is a thing.
Let me see.
The completion percentage hasn't been great. The yardage hasn't been great. But he has thrown 4 touchdowns in the last 2 games.
I just think it's cute that people think the Browns are trying to protect Sanders at this point. Does anyone else? Do you guys? I think we're just making things up now.
Andy, what you just said is absolutely right. No NFL team looks at their 5th-round quarterback, especially when he was the 2nd quarterback taken in that draft, and thinks, "Yep, there's our guy." And if they did, he'd be on the field now. That doesn't mean he can't be one day, and it doesn't mean he can't be good one day. He'd be defying the odds, but doesn't mean it can't happen. But that's just where this is, folks, and we just all need to, that's just the way this is. And they clearly think Dillon looks better in practice, and that Dillon has looked better through the whole process. Otherwise, he wouldn't be playing quarterback, and Shedeur Sanders would be.
And I think people would want to make the argument about Tom Brady, right? Well, like Tom Brady, yeah, but you got to remember Drew Bledsoe, he was banged up. Like the only way a 5th, 6th, 7th round quarterback is getting on the field is if you're running out of quarterbacks
or
injury,
or if it's real clear to those who are in power, and then have the guts to do it, to make the move. Brock Purdy instead of Trey Lance after you gave up everything to get Trey Lance.
All right, give me one more. Let's do.
So Albert Breer was asked, would he be surprised to see Watson or Sanders this season?
No, I wouldn't be surprised. I think they would. My guess is they'd like to see both of them. You know what I mean? That's just the way I look at it. That you want to get an idea of where you're at the quarterback position in general. And so let's get a look at both of them. But I think we have to remember this about Shedeur too. He's a 5th round pick. I mean, the investment the organization has in those 2 guys is on a different planet. One guy you've got under contract for the next 3 years after this year at very low numbers. The other guy, you've only got under contract for 1 more year after this one, and you're guaranteeing him $46 million. It's not even close to the same thing, regardless of how famous the 5th round pick might be.
Yep.
Breer makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, he does.
He was on the afternoon show yesterday.
Yeah, if you want to hear that entire interview, go to 923thefan.com, listen to the afternoon show podcast and afternoon drive podcast, and you can hear the entire interview. It's a head shaker. I don't know what they're thinking. I think we all kind of think that. I mean, what they're telling you, though, and if you really want to, they're saying, Gabriel's our guy. We're sticking with him. If for some reason he can't play, then whoever the number 2 quarterback is on that given Sunday, and it's been Shedeur, is going to step out on the field. The overwhelming thing here for me is 2-7. 2-7. And if you wanted to put Gabriel on the field and just said, okay, we can't watch any more of this, and I know he only worked with a guy 1 game in Tommy Rees, but maybe we just want to take a look at what we got. And they know what they have, but maybe what they see in practice might be different than him during a game. Maybe he's just a gamer. I don't know. I don't know what they're seeing. And we don't know what they're seeing in practice. And I think that's a valid point to the argument of why we were not seeing Sanders. Although every one of us is curious to wonder what
how could you not be?
Backup quarterback in Cleveland's the best job.
Hang on, you ready?
Yeah.
I'm curious about Bailey Zappi. I am.